Once again, here's Mark Haney.
Today we have the great pleasure of expanding our circle to include Chris Johnson, founder of the Chris Johnson Group of Companies, and most notably, Rapid Ramen. How you doing this morning, Chris?
I'm doing amazing, man.
Well,
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming in because I know right now you're missing Josiah, and you're missing his game.
Yes.
We were going to bring him on the show with you this morning and share a little bit about his story. Let me ask you a question, though. Tell us about Josiah. Who is Josiah to you?
Josiah is my baby boy. He's the second born son, and he's just an amazing kid. Amazing kid. He's super talented as far as with basketball. You know, straight A's in school. But this kid has a work ethic I've never seen before in a child, and just a very special young man.
So today you're missing his game, and you don't miss games. That's not Chris Johnson. You don't take a playoff. You go. So you have sacrificed one of Josiah's games to be down here with us, and we really, truly do appreciate it. So thank you, Chris. Who is Chris Johnson, and what is the Rapid Ramen Group of Companies? What is Rapid Brands?
All right, yeah. So as far as who's Chris Johnson, you know, I'm a man of faith. I'm first of all a devoted husband, and I'm a father. Right, I married my high school sweetheart. Oh. We've been together since I was 14 years old.
Wow.
And I got 2 boys, 2 girls, and I'm so blessed, man, so blessed. And that's who I am first and foremost, right? And I'm a businessman, and I love being an entrepreneur. And the company Rapid Brands is the world's fastest growing microwave cookware company in the country. And started it with the Rapid Ramen being on Shark Tank. And a lot of people don't know. Now we have over 15 products. 7 of them will be in Walmart stores nationwide in April. 6 of them will be in Target. All 13 of them will be in Kitchen Collection. And we're the fastest growing microwave cookware company in the country.
Okay, we got to ask you, what's it like being on Shark Tank? That's got to have been an incredible experience.
It was incredible. As far as kind of give you some sneak peeks of Shark Tank, people ask me, is it real? It's unscripted. It's the real deal. And it was the scariest day of my life, but the most rewarding. And I went out there and I pitched my heart out. So for people that saw the segment, I was on, only shows about 13 minutes, but I actually was in there for an hour and like 20 minutes. Oh, wow. And so they cut that all the way down. But I tell you, I never knew the power of TV. Like you got Super Bowl tomorrow. I never really understood, why are they spending so much money on Super Bowl commercials? I get it now. I mean, from the airing of that show, it put our company on a rocket ship. And we've continued to leverage that and having a lot of success because of it.
You said it was scary. You intimated that maybe, were you nervous?
You know what? I'm a pretty confident guy, but there's something about, I wasn't nervous from being on the panel with these sharks. It wasn't just them. Okay, so you got these billionaire and multimillionaire panelists that you're going to be speaking to, but then you also have 10 million viewers. So the part that made me nervous...
That's almost as many as we have. Wow, you don't seem nervous at all today.
Oh, man, no, I'm good. I'm good to go.
Okay, good.
Well, what made me nervous was this, is I was battling being strong and tough as a business person and negotiating and that, but also I wanted to be likable for the 10 million viewers. So that's a hard thing to balance.
Does the negotiation really happen there live on TV?
Oh, no
that's
question.
That's the real negotiation.
Oh, that's the real deal. That's the real deal. So the first time I see the sharks is when I walk out down that hall. So when you YouTube that, is when I walk
and
down.
Your heart does. Boom.
Oh, your heart's beating like crazy.
Mark Cuban.
Oh my gosh! But I was so prepared, Mark. I was so prepared. I watched every single episode of Shark Tank, and I wrote down every single question that they've ever asked. It was 182 questions, and I knew those questions intimately, and so I was ready. But more so than just the preparation for Shark Tank, it made me know my business down to the last penny. And so I built my business based on that education. Like, so that more than just the preparation for Shark Tank, that studying as far as preparing to get on that show, it just made my company leaps and bounds.
Let me make sure I understand that answer. So you had watched Shark Tank, you watched every episode, you studied it, and your business model was built around the variety of questions that they asked the rest of the guests. And so you built a business model and then went out for Shark Tank.
That's absolutely correct.
Wow. And then how did you get this rapid growth?
You know, I tell you, it's work ethic. You know, I tell a lot of people, you want to achieve something successful, faith and work. And, you know, I have this thing where, you know, I'm just fearless. You know, I exhaust myself daily. So every single day, as an entrepreneur, you don't have a boss, right? And so that discipline and accountability has to come within. And I would ask myself, is there anybody in the world outworking me right now? In the world. And if I could say yes, I didn't deserve that opportunity. So my thing is, if you have energy at the end of the day, you didn't work hard enough. And see, when I prepare my day, I go after the stuff that a lot of people put in, you know, that procrastinate on. You know, I don't do a lot of busy times searching, doing the emails and all that stuff. I go after the hard projects. And so I'm exhausted at the end of the day. And what happened is those days accumulated. So you think I filed this patent and I launched November 2012. It's only been just under 3 years. That in that time period, we're in now 50,000 doors nationwide. We're open in 4 countries this year. We have over 15 products, 25 patents, licenses with Disney, Marvel, Nickelodeon, colleges nationwide, aired on Shark Tank, Good Morning America, and all that in less than in 3 years.
You know, it just occurred to me that we didn't explain, if there's somebody out there listening that doesn't know what Rapid Ramen is or what the Rapid brands are, let's give them just a quick education. I know that you began designing the first project not that many years ago. Tell us how you got into this and who helped you.
Absolutely. So, you know, the everybody has ideas, right, for inventions. And I knew nothing about how to do this, right? And so it was a simple idea. But let me tell you why I was able to take action. My grandfather, before he passed, he asked me, Chris, what's the richest land in the world? And I said, the United States. And he said, no. And I said, China. And he said, no. And I said, Grandpa, I give up. What is the richest land in the world? And he said, the graveyard. And he said, the graveyard because that's where so many people died with great ideas in them that they never got out. And so hearing that, I said, you know what? No matter how small the idea, no matter how big, I'm going to get it out. So I had this idea while I was at UC Davis. That's where it first started, where when I ate ramen noodles all the time. And I hated pulling out the pot in the pan, boiling the water. You know, that's cooking, right? I wanted a quick snack, and I always made it in the microwave, but you never got that stovetop taste. And then one time, I actually got it right. I actually made perfect ramen noodles right in the microwave. And I said, there's a way to do this. So long and short of it, I hired an engineer, actually a professor out of Chico State, that helped me design it. So the students at Chico State actually created my first prototype. And from there, the professor I brought on as a consultant helped me create it all the way to mass production. And that's exactly how I got started.
And then you took this idea and you pitched it to Walmart and other major retailers. Tell us about that pitch. What's that like?
You know, it's the pitch. You know, I tell a lot of people that it's just talking about your product with enthusiasm. You're not selling a product. You're just just talking with the customer. And retailers really responded to that. You know, I would talk as far as how we're going to do this for the consumer, how we're going to be able to make this product, how it's going to that they're going to move a lot of units. And, you know, I started with Walmart. the audacity, right? Walmart as your
Yeah,
first customer.
might as well go after the big guy. Huh?
Absolutely, absolutely. And then, and you know, real quick story on that. That was the Truxell Walmart right there here in Sacramento, and the store manager brought me back to the break room and said, "Show me." It was the moment of truth of actually cooking the ramen noodles right in the microwave. Now I have done this 100 times, but this is my shot, Walmart. I put it in the microwave. I do the whole thing. I take it out, and they're not done.
Oh, you go to demonstrate it to
I'm
Walmart.
demonstrating it to Walmart. It's not done. I'm freaking out. And I say, you know what? Let me put it in one more minute. I put it in there another minute, and they're still not done. But I can see they're done at the bottom. I look at the microwave. It's only like 400 watts. And I make it. He said, you know what? This is a winner. We sell pallets and pallets of ramen noodles. I'll be your first customer. So even though it was one Walmart, I took that success, and I drove to Pleasanton, and I went to Safeway. And I said, we're in Walmart. I didn't tell them one Walmart. I said, we're in Walmart. Here's the rapid ramen cooker. They get us in all 1,200 stores. Wow. And I continued to have that success, continue to get me other success as far as other retailers. And that's how I got my start as far as, and I knew nothing about retail, but I had faith, man. You know, I think fear is what keeps a lot of people from actually going after ideas. So many people have great ideas, but there's a difference between fear and faith. Now, fear and faith, even though they're polar opposites, they have one characteristic that they share. And that one characteristic is that they both want you to believe something that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So it hasn't happened yet. The faith of, you know what, I'm going to be a multimillionaire. I'm going to be able to build my wife that dream house we always wanted. You know, that's that faith of saying, you know, I'm going to be able to put my kids through college. I'm going to be so blessed. I'm going to have so much success. That's the faith. And then the fear is like, what am I doing? This is noodles. Are you kidding me? Man, I'm going to be the laughingstock of Sacramento. This is going to be a complete failure. And so at any purpose-given journey, you have to decide whether you're going to have faith or fear. And every single day I choose faith.
We are here with Chris Johnson, being inspired, learning about how he built the Rapid Brands company. When we come back, we're going to find out a little bit more about Chris, about his inner circle, and how he continues to build his business today. You are listening to Entrepreneurs Unlimited on Sports 1140 KHTK, streaming live, podcast, and YouTube at HaneyBiz.com.
Now, here's Mark.
And we are back with Chris Johnson, the founder of Rapid Brands, talking about his Shark Tank experience, how he's built this company, and he's in thousands of retailers. But Chris, we're also talking about fear and faith and the similarities they have. But come on now, we've all got fears, and we've all got doubts about who we are, what we're trying to accomplish. How do you deal with any doubts you might have?
Doubt cannot find room in a man that's consumed by faith. And I'm going to tell you, like, doubt is the biggest stiller of dreams, even more than fear. And the reason is because doubt's reasonable. Okay? So fear comes in the front door. It kicks your door open and says, you know what, this is going to fail. You're not going to succeed. Doubt's reasonable. Doubt comes through the side door, and doubt says, you know what, man, you're not going to be able to spend as much time with your kids.
Yeah.
You know what, if you work harder on this job, yeah, I know you want to start this business, but man, this type of income, everything's kind of okay.
Yeah, doubt's sneaky.
Doubt
it gets
sneaky,
me.
right? And so that's really what stops people from being their best selves and meeting those dreams that they have. And see, what doubt does, as far as its sneakiness, what it happens is you lower your expectations of what you want out of life. Doubt brings them down. Doubt makes you comfortable. Doubt makes you complacent. And so you can't have doubt. You got to be bold. You know, I say being realistic is for cowards. Who decides what's realistic? Was it realistic as far as the journey and the success we had? Was it realistic to say that, you know, if I were to take it back a year and say, Mark, here's my projections, in the next 3 years, I'm going to go on Shark Tank. I'm going to be the fastest growing microwave cookware in the world. I'm going to open up Canada, Mexico, China, and Japan. I'm going to have 15 products. It's going to be the number one selling on Amazon.com. I'm going to go on Good Morning America 3 times. It's going to be Walmart's going to buy 1.5 million units for back to school, and I'm going to do all this in less than 2.5 years. Someone would say to me, you know what, Chris, be realistic. That's not realistic. So what I realized, being realistic's for cowards. There's no precedent. You just got to go after it. Doubt makes you put being realistic in your projections. So I don't be realistic. I'm going at I pray and I act boldly. So what? I want to do 100 million this year. That's my goal. And I don't allow chatter of others to make me realistic. Because when I look back all the blessings that where I come from, that's not realistic.
So who is in Chris Johnson's inner circle? How do you choose those people that you don't want people that are going to bring doubt into your inner circle?
I'm violent when it comes to picking my inner circle. I call it proximity. And really blessed to be in, a lot of great groups. EO is one of them, which is just fantastic. But I have just an amazing circle. I use guys like Hayes Barnard, who's had just amazing success. And, guys like that, even when I'm having success, guys like that could tell me, Hayes told me one time, yeah, Chris, you've been on Shark Tank, you had this success, but you know what? You're still in the NAIA. He told me this about a year ago. You're still in the NAIA. You're not even D1 yet.
NAIA, the lower league.
The lower league, right?
The lower
and so,
tournament.
But so for someone to tell you that, and I know I have success, but basically he was telling me, you haven't even cracked your full potential yet. And it gave me a reality check of like, you know what? I got more to do. There's more in me. And I turned it up. I turned it up even more this past year. And so guys like that, guys like Yatish Mishra, that have had amazing success and are just wonderful people. Tom Candrish, you mentioned Tom. I mean, I Scott Syfax, Darrell T.
Yeah.
Like I have really, really amazing people that I can count on that are in my corner.
And I'm just going to mention something about EO. He used the term EO, and that's the Entrepreneurs Organization. And we have talked about that somewhat on the show, but some of our guests, some of our close friends are part of that. Chris, you and I are both members of EO. We're not in the same forum, but it really is a help in the inner circle. And just I want to talk a little bit about what motivates you, because you're so motivated. Where did your inspiration come from?
You know what? I've always, I think it starts with my dad, right? I was so into basketball. I love playing basketball. And my dad, he never said, hey, Chris, have a backup plan. He said, have 2 dreams. He said, because, once you're done with playing basketball, you'll be about 36, 37, when you get out of the NBA. And you're gonna have that. You still got the rest of your life, so have 2 dreams. And I didn't know
no backup plan.
No
Just
backup.
Do
No
2
backup
dreams
plan.
Instead.
2 dreams.
What a great way to phrase it.
And so I was watching the movie as a kid. I never forget it. I watched the movie Boomerang with Eddie Murphy.
Halle Berry too, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That was your motivation.
Oh man, here's Eddie Murphy. He has a corner office, and he's a businessman wearing a nice suit, and he has Halle Berry. I said, you know what, Mark? I want to be a businessman. and you know what? I'm living my dream. And so when I was young, Mark, I didn't want to be famous. I wanted to be rich. I wanted not just being rich to just be able to provide for my family and have a dream house and have my dream car, but also so I can bless other people's brains out without even affecting me, where you can be an impact to someone else. And so that was always my motivator. And so I declared 2016 the realization of childhood dreams.
Nice.
And I'm right there. I'm right there, I'm motivated by that, and I feel very, very blessed.
When Marcus and I sat in your office, we looked at the wall, and there's something you call the gratitude wall.
Yeah.
Can you share with us what that is?
Absolutely. So basically, if you go on my wall, on Capitol Mall, beautiful office, and on my wall, it's very important for entrepreneurs. So many times we focus on the big win and the big success that we're going after. And in doing that, we forget about the small victories along the way. And I found I was doing that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to dedicate a wall that shows all the little successes that are along the way. I call them my look around blessings. So many people, they count their problems instead of counting their blessings of how awesome their life is. So even in my days that are challenging, I could look at this wall and be like, you know what? I'm blessed. And they're just little things, but that they're every single picture. There's nothing in there that's not meaningful. Every single picture on that wall means something to me. It's a capture in time of a really amazing moment that even though I haven't hit it yet, that my life is great.
Besides the man upstairs, Chris, who deserves the most credit for your success?
You know what? There's a lot of people, but one that jumps first and foremost, after God is my wife. My wife, Shauna, is the most amazing woman. I'm not the easiest guy to get along with.
Come on now.
But I tell you, man, she is so wonderful. I mean, she taught me something that's very important, that happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice. My wife is always so happy, always so loving, always so giving, just always happy. And I was like, yeah, it's easy for you to be happy. You stay-at-home mom, life's grand. But you know what I realized, Mark? There's a lot of unhappy stay-at-home moms. And what I realized is that it was a choice. She chooses to be happy. She chooses to look at the things that are going on in her life that are amazing. She chooses to look at the good things in me. And so I started to do that. And my life's more happy.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
And so she's amazing. I mean, I had a big, giant meeting with Top Ramen, the biggest Top Ramen in Marichon. And because of my injury, I couldn't fly. She drove the 7 hours to Southern California.
From 14 years old, and she's still with you today.
Absolutely.
Chris, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. As we wrap up, I just can't say anything other than thank you. And I think we learned a lot. I want to invite you back on the show. Hopefully Josiah can join you.
Absolutely.
And we'll hear more of your story, incredible story of Rapid Ramen, the Chris Johnson group of companies. I'm Mark Haney. Coming up after the break, you're going to meet the man behind Digital Deployment, known as the best place in Sacramento to work. You're listening to Entrepreneurs Unlimited on Sports 1140 KHTK, streaming live, podcast, and YouTube at HaneyBiz.com.
Once again, here's Mark.
They say you are the average of the people you spend, the 5 people you spend the most amount of time with. And today, I think spending time with Mac and Chris and Marcus and Tom and really having you guys rub off on me, I mean, it feels good. I feel like I definitely learned a lot today, and it's really appreciated. So it makes me think about what my inner circle is and how the time we spend with people, it's so valuable. We only have so much time. There's only 168 hours in a week, and we got this 1 hour a week, and we are spending time with some of the finest people in Sacramento. And I think there's probably something we should consider as we think about who should be in our inner circle and who we should spend our time with. And maybe we should quit wasting time with losers. I know that sounds really harsh, but I think there's times in our day when you look and you're like, why did I just spend so much time with that person, listening to that or being a part of that? And maybe I should have thought that through ahead of time. So maybe we had to ditch the doubters, right? There's people that don't believe in us. They don't even care about us. Why are we spending so much time with these people? Maybe we got to ditch the doubters. Maybe those guys that cause us to second guess ourselves, they're really just a distraction for what we really want to become.
They're certainly not helping you be the best you can be, that's for sure.
And maybe we had to ditch the drama queens. There's people that just drain us, right? They take all the life out of us. They drain our energy. And ditch the detractors. Ditch the people that don't have the commitment we have. So hats off to all of my inner circle, the people that have guided me, aligned their personal ambition with me, worked so hard with me. Hats off to all the brave, fighting warriors that made freedom a possibility for all of us. Never above you, never below you, always by your side.
Get the rocket train, the bombs must get